have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 193 of the Scholars of Wrestling show. This is Scholar Tarek here, your Scholars of Wrestling champion. Holding this, well, not holding, but okay. Now that I was going for it, holding this title with pride. And as you can see, I have no co-hosts with me. Scholars Jeff and Brian both are under the weather, but let's be fair. Let's be honest. They're here because they just can't handle my greatness at being the Scholars of Wrestling champion. So there's no eyeball rolling. There's no, oh, you're not really a hard defending champion tonight. No, none of that. It's just me and this beautiful piece of plastic to talk about all the events that happened this week in the world of professional wrestling. So let's get right down to it. We're going into Raw and SmackDown, decide which one is the better show, and let's start it. Oh, hold on one second. We'll do it live with Raw, and also known as continuing build for the Elimination Chamber. And yeah, it's actually a very steady build. No real complaints. Few, but not a lot. Let's start with the continuing Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, which is first that opened the Raw. No opening promo this week. That's a good sign. With Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. And nothing really can be said about these two. These two always work wonders together. They put on a very solid Raw match. And I believe they said Bray Wyatt tried to hit two Sister Abigails. Or he did hit two Sister Abigails on Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns kicks out of four attitude adjustments, including one off the top turnbuckle. Yeah, he's going to be kicking out at two Sister Abigails, sadly. And one spear obviously takes out Bray Wyatt. There's really nothing more that can be said. Roman Reigns qualifies. This is obviously building up for him to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Spoiler alert for Elimination Chamber. Oh, such a surprise to no one. But all in all, it really was a good match. Bray Wyatt he got in some good offense, and it all ends with Roman Reigns taking the victory and an appearance from Woken Matt Hardy to continue his feud with Bray Wyatt. Let's see. Then you have the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, face off against Apollo Crews. Another solid match. No real complaints on this one. Miz did a great opening promo before the match, explaining how this 2018 is the year of The Miz, and he's going to continue it by winning the Elimination Chamber and defeating Brock Lesnar to become the new Universal Champion. Way to go, Miz. Continue to be awesome. And he did continue to be awesome with a successful win against Apollo Crews. Now he's in the Chamber match. And so it leaves the sixth spot open, which, in my opinion, it should have been, with all the injuries that are happening around him, it should have been Seth Rollins getting himself in a qualifying match. Maybe against either Sheamus or Cesaro, since they want to keep him in that feud when it comes to him and Jason Jordan. But no, from what it's being said, that is Seth Rollins is going to be kept off Elimination Chamber, at least match-wise this week, or not this week, at the coming event, which is really disappointing to hear. But they already announced that next week on Raw is going to be a fatal four-way for the final spot, the second chance, I believe they call it, between Finn Balor, Woken Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, and Apollo Crews. And let's be honest, it's most likely going to be Finn Balor. And if what the rumors for their WrestleMania match is hinting at. Looks like it's going to be Finn Balor and The Miz. Maybe they'll plant something there, starting with the Elimination Chamber. As long as it's not a 6-man tag at Mania with the Balor Club versus the Miztourage. Excuse me. Because it's WrestleMania. You have the Intercontinental Championship. Me being an Intercontinental Championship fanboy, that title has to be defended at Mania. Excuse me. It's kind of a pain that there is no one else here to agree with me or disagree with me to really keep this conversation going. But since it's just me tonight, it's my opinion that only matters. That's the Scholar's way. Scholar Tarek's way is the Scholar's way. Because, look at this. I'm going to keep going. I'm being the smug champion. All right. Continuing on with Elimination Chamber build-up. Not a huge fan of what's going to happen. You have Kurt Angle come out, simply put, he announces the participants for the first ever women's Elimination Chamber. That's it. And the names are, let me pull out my notes here, Bayley, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, which, to be perfectly honest, I hope she kind of breaks off from Absolution to join up with Goldust, because what Goldust is posting with his pictures and how they worked with the Mix Max Challenge, Mandy Rose can do so much more with Goldust being her manager and all that instead of being with Absolution, because now with Paige being injured and Sonya Deville is really being the front and center. Oh, mine's wandering. Back to the participants. The other one, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, speak of the devil, and Sasha. Yay. Just what we need, more Sasha Banks. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I hope Mandy Rose eventually goes with Goldust. Have her be like the protege for Goldust. Something that they hinted at when Goldust first broke off with R-Truth and he turned heel. That he will have his future star, or if I recall correctly. And Mandy Rose and Goldust, they actually do fit. But that's just me. And Paige can just manage Sonya Deville by herself. Because really, those two don't really mix very well. So breaking them apart, have her go with Goldust, have Sonya stick with Paige being the fighter of the group. Go for it. Now, another down point to Kurt Angle announcing the participants. Oh, and of course, because it's the Women's Elimination Chamber, the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss is defending the Raw Women's title in that match. So it leads her to come down and really complain about it. And at first, I was with what she was saying when it comes to her having to defend the championship at Elimination Chamber, and Brock Lesnar doesn't. So Brock Lesnar is getting more privileges being champion than I do. You're looking at Brock Lesnar as a greater champion than I am as the women's champion. And as soon as she starts throwing you're not treating me the same manner as Brock Lesnar, you're obviously a sexist. You look down on the women's wrestlers. What was the point of that? Do we really need to throw the sexist card in this storyline? No, we don't. It's just more stupid. I'm trying to think of the right word for it. It's not coming to my head right now, but it's just more. It's like, you think you could, because I have to defend the the title at the Elimination Chamber, and Brock Lesnar doesn't, means that Brock Lesnar gets more privileges than I do. Well, I mean, at first I was with it because I've made it very vocal on this show. I'm very tired of Brock Lesnar as the Universal Champion. They're going on about how he's been champion for almost a year, it will be a year when it comes to WrestleMania, and he's only had, let's see, maybe 5 title defenses. The SummerSlam match versus Braun versus Samoa Joe, and versus Braun and Kane at at Royal Rumble. Yeah, like that's it. I think 5 times, and then you had him versus AJ, and that wasn't a title match. It was just a champion versus champion. But yeah, I'm tired of Brock Lesnar as being Universal Champion. As much as I hate to say it, I can't wait to see Roman win it just to get booed out of WrestleMania again. But then Kurt is like, "Oh, it's not me." It's like, I have nothing but respect for women. Do you, the WWE Universe, want to see Alexa Bliss defend the championship at the Elimination Chamber? Yes, yes, yes. It was a very weak segment. Very weak. Also not a fan of really the just announcing the participants. I would hope for qualifying matches, but also at the same time, really looking at it, you can't really have qualifying matches because that's, other than Nia Jax and Asuka, which are in their own match at Elimination Chamber, which if Nia Jax beats Asuka, she's in the Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Even though everyone's already pointed out, Asuka has not really officially made her decision on which champion she wants to face, so I can't wait to see where they go on with that, especially with the rumor going around is that Asuka was going to face Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania, and Nia Jax is facing Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. And yeah, I really don't know where they're going to go from there. Maybe it's leading something to Sasha's eventual heel turn, which they've been hinting at for the past couple of weeks. Who knows? They're starting to, at least I'll give them this. They actually are starting to build stories when it comes to the women's division, on more likely on Raw than SmackDown, but at least they're building. It's not just copy paste. Let's just throw all these women together in one match and all these women together in one match on each show. Excuse me. And then Raw closes off with the main event being Braun Strowman, the people who were already at the time qualified for the Elimination Chamber: Braun Strowman, John Cena, and Elias. Who wants to walk with Elias? I wants to walk with Elias. To be fair, I'm also a big Braun guy. It was a fun triple threat match. The winner gets released in the 6th spot of the Elimination Chamber. It seemed pretty clear that they were going to give Elias this one because he was the one who kind of needed it the most. I mean, John Cena's been the face of the company for over 10 years, and Braun is Braun. That's all that really needs to be said. Fun triple threat. John Cena and Elias did a lot of double teaming to take Braun out because, again, it's Braun. But in the end, Braun hit his power slam on Cena, tried to hit it on Elias, and Elias reversed it, throwing Braun out of the ring. It's really weird to say that, actually. Coming out of my mouth, it's really weird saying that Elias throwing Braun, or let's make this better, pushing Braun out of the ring and stealing the pin on John Cena, which is good for Elias, pinning the face of the company. Granted, it wasn't really him